All right, so we just finished this problem. Let's go on to the next one. So this says the cubed root of negative 216. So we need to figure out a number that when we multiply by itself gives me 216. It may not be a perfect number. So first, I'm just going to write down the perfect numbers. It's like perfect cubes rather. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. I'm just going to use these. And my calculator. Alright, so 2 up 3 is 8. 3 up 3 is 27. 4 up 3, 64. 5 up 3, 125. 6 up 3, 216. 7 up 3, 343. Oh, 216. Hello. That's what we wanted. All right, but we need negative 216. So let's try negative 6 times negative 6 times negative 6. I'm just going to type that in my calculator. Negative 6 times negative 6 times negative 6, and I get 216. Yay. So my answer is negative 6. Because when I multiply it by 3 times cubed root, I get negative 216. All right, now we're going to do the fourth root of 16 over 81. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 27. Oh, fourth root. 1, 2, 3, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 16. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, 81. 4 times 4, 4 up 4, 56. Alright, that's 1. So the fourth root of 16 is 2. The fourth root of 81 is 3. So my answer is 2/3. Alright, given the equation y equals negative 1/4 x is 2, fine, we just want the slope, we don't need the equation, for the line that's parallel. Remember, parallel lines have the same slope. So the slope for this line is negative 1/4. So the slope of a parallel line will just be negative 1/4. And we are done. Determine whether these lines are parallel, perpendicular, neither. So parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines have negative reciprocals. So you have one number and then you flip it over and then that's the reciprocal, and then one's a positive, one's a negative. Excuse me. All right, so to figure out, first we need to figure out like their slopes. So we got to get them in y equals. So I'm going to subtract, or I'm going to, add 2x here. So I want the y by itself. So I have 5y equals 2x plus 7. And then I'm going to divide everything by 5. So I get y equals 2x over 5 plus 7 over 5. So the slope, that's the number touching x, is 2/5. So when I do this guy, if I also get 2/5, they're parallel. If I get negative 5/2, negative 5 over 2, then they're perpendicular. Otherwise, they're neither. Right, so now, this guy, I'm going to subtract 5x. I want the y by itself. Negative 5x plus 10. And then I'm going to divide by 2. And get y equals negative 5 over 2x plus 10 over 2 is 5. So the slope, that's the number touching x, I get 5 over 2. And so 5 over 2 and 2 over 5, those are reciprocals, and they're opposite. One's positive and one's negative. So these guys are perpendicular. Right, find the slope of the line containing the 2 points. Then we're going to find the equation. So slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's the first set. That's the second set. And then we're going to find the equation y equals mx plus b. All right, y2 is 7, y1 is 3, x2 is negative 4, x1 is negative 2. So 7 minus 3 is 4. And then here, minus a negative is the same as plus a positive. So negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. And 4 divided by negative 2, that's negative 2. So my slope is negative 2. My slope. All right. And then it doesn't matter which point we pick. I'm just going to pick the first one because it's first. That's it. So y is 3. M is negative 2. X is negative 2. And then we don't know b. So 3 equals negative 2 times negative 2 is 4 plus b. And I need to subtract 4 on both sides. So I get 3 minus 4. And 3 minus 4 is negative 1. So that's my y-intercept. So what I really have is y equals mx plus b. So I'm not going to write, I can write plus negative 1 if I wanted to. Minus 1. So that's the equation of the line. Y equals negative 2x minus 1. All right, so we're going to graph the lines and find the important information. So the x-intercept is when y is 0. The y-intercept is when x is 0. And so x-intercept, I'm going to plug in 0 for y. So I get negative 3x plus 12. Then I'm going to divide by negative 3 on both sides, and I get negative 4. And so negative 4 on the edge right here. And so we're going to write negative 4 comma 0. Then for the y-intercept, I'm going to plug in 0 for x. I get 12y equals 12. I'm going to divide by 12 on both sides. I get 1. So I get 0 comma 1. And then I'm just going to connect the dots. All right, let's do another one. That one's in standard form, just so you know. Right now, let's do one in slope-intercept form. So the slope is the number touching x, so it's negative 2/3. The y-intercept is the number touching y, so it's going to be 0, comma 2, so it's 2. And we start with the 2, and then the slope means down 2, right 3. So from here, I'm going to go down 2, right 3. And put a dot, and then I'm going to connect them, and that's it. That's all there is to graphing that line. Right here, I need to solve this system. So to solve this system, I can do graphing. I can do substitution, where I get like y equals something and then substitute it into the other guy. Excuse me. Or I can do elimination, which is I can make 2 letters equal the same thing. So like if I take this guy and I multiply by 3 so that these both have 3, then I could eliminate some stuff. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. 7 times 3 is 21. And then I'm going to write the original guy how he was. 2x plus 3y equals 1. Then I'm going to add them. And so when I add them, 9 plus 2 is 11. These guys cancel because one's a negative 3y and one's a positive 3y. And then 21 plus 1 is 22. When I divide by 11, I get 2. So my answer is going to be 2 comma, and then whatever the y value is. So I'm going to take this 2, and I'm just going to plug him in into that top one, just because he's the top one. So 3 times 2 minus y equals 7. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus y equals 7. I need to minus 6 on both sides. And I get negative y equals 7 minus 6 is 1. So negative y equals 1. That means that positive y equals negative 1. So positive y equals negative 1. So my answer, these two lines will intersect at 2, negative 1, which is right here. Okay, let's do this inequality. So the y-intercept is 2. I'm going to put a dot right there. Slope is 1, so that means we're going to go up 1, right 1. So up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. Right, so it looks like that, something like that. It's a solid line because there's no, it says equal to there. And we just got to figure out where it's shaded. So I'm going to plug in 0, 0. So 0, 0 occurs right there. So 0 is less than or equal to 0 plus 2. Well, 0 less than or equal to 0 plus 2. Is 0 less than or equal to 2? Yep, show is. Show enough, girl, show enough. Right. So anything in the shaded region, including the line, is the answer to that. All right, let's look at this one. So this, we're going to write the equation in slope-intercept form. So that's y equals mx plus b. And the first thing we need to do is find the slope. And so the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm just going to pick these 2 points. And I'm just going to call it, I don't know, x1, y1, x2, y2. All right, so y2 is 0, y1 is negative 5, x2 is 2, x1 is 0. And so minus a negative is the same as plus a positive. So we have 5 over 2. So my slope for y equals mx plus 3 is 5 halves. And then I need my y-intercept. Well, it just so happens that where the line crosses the y-axis, that's the y-intercept. So it's right there at negative 5. Negative 5. So I don't need to quote-unquote do math. I just need to be able to read the graph correctly. I'm going to stop this video here because the next problem is kind of long, and I'll pick up in the next video.